Hi quilting friends, welcome to Straight Stitching, where I turn fabric into art one stitch at a time. My name is Tiffany and I'm your guide to quilting with confidence. Whether you're just beginning or looking to level up your skills, you're in the right place. Today we'll be working on disappearing four patch block. I'll show you how to take a basic four patch block and turn it into something new and unique. We're going to start our disappearing four block by making an actual four blocker. So I have four blocks here laid out, two two background blocks and then two um, blocks of different colors, right? So they're both actually darker hue, but that will be fine for what we're doing. So I am going to start this process by stitching the rows, if you will, and then connecting them to complete the block. So I'm going to connect these two blocks here. I will be doing that with a 1/4 inch seam. I'll connect the top two blocks with a 1/4 inch seam, and then I will iron my seams open, because if you've been following me, you know that I prefer to iron my seams open or press my seams open as opposed to either a light or dark side. Don't really ask me why, it's just my preference. And then I'm going to come back and then I will attach the top and bottom and we will have our four blocker. So I'm going to pause and I'll come back to you once the block is completed. Now that we have our four blocker put together, we're going to begin making the cuts that are going to be used to help us to actually have this four blocker disappear and end up in a totally different configuration. Much more, I mean, the four blocker is a basic building block for any new quilter, but if you look at it, I mean, there's not a lot of pizzazz to it. So we're going to do a few cuts and we're going to be able to make just a couple of minor changes and totally change the layout of the block. So we're going to start by making a cut, and the cuts are going to go along the seam line. So the first one here, we're going to make a cut 1 1/4 inch from the seam here. And then we'll just do the same 3 more times around the entirety of the block. So I'm going to just bend my cutting board here and I will make the next cut 1 1/4 inch. Okay. Okay. Try not to have your fabric move like I've done here. But if it does, just go ahead and line it back up. Okay, so another cut 1 1/4 inch. And one more cut. So once you have all of your cuts, we're going to rearrange the pieces. And you really can rearrange this in any number of ways or any number of different patterns. I'm going to select a way here. I want to flip this back over. And you can use this as well. So I'm going to just flip this here. And I will take this piece and we'll switch these and flip this one here. So you can see there's really a number of different ways that you can do this. You could flip the center. You can change the orientation of the shorter cut here to do what you like. This is the particular way that we're going to do this tutorial, and then I'm going to show you a mock-up of a quilt layout that you can do with this actual design here. And actually, so I'm going to sew this together, and then I'll come back and make an even different change. So I'm going to sew this together very much like I did the initial blocks. So we now have 3 different rows here. And so I will just sew each of the pieces together with a 1/4 inch seam. So we'll sew along this line here for each of the 3 rows, along this seam here for each of the 3 rows, and then we will go back and connect our columns, rows. Then we'll go back and connect them. So I'm going to pause and I'll come back and show you the design once it is all pieced back together. Okay, so the background pieces have been sewn over our pieces here on our disappearing 4 patch. So you can see the stitches are, well, hopefully you can see them. The stitches are here along the diagonal. And so what we're going to do now is to trim this back. And to do that, we're going to measure a 1/4 inch from that actual stitch line. And then we will make the cut there. And we will fold back the top half of our half square triangle. Okay, so there. And we will do the same on the other side. So we're trimming a 1/4 inch from that seam line. And we're going to fold that back. And now we have a new variation of disappearing 4 patch. I am going to just press this really quickly so you can see it a bit flatter. Okay, here we are. So again, we started out with your very basic 4 patch quilt block, and we've been able to turn it into this, which is a much more visually appealing quilt block. And let's see what our final measurements are. We're still at 8 inches squared. And so I will include in this video, again, like I mentioned, several different ways in which you can orient this actual quilt block to make a different quilt top. Again, so this is 8 inches squared. We started off with 4 5-inch patches, and we were able to create something new and different. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe so that you can be made aware of content when we post new videos. Also, please click the bell. I believe that's what you need to do so that you're actually notified when we post new videos. So I hope you liked the video, and we will see you again here soon. Thank you for watching.